Okay, I'm gonna practice. This is a practice video on how I learned that I was the monad, and it's a really kind of complicated video. Let me put my eye masks on. It's, it's like late at night, and I want to put my eye masks on, okay? Do, 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 do. Okay. Okay, so it's in case you're wondering, because I know probably people are wondering, it's called Pacifica, and it's the silicone eye masks, and you can wear them for hours and hours and hours. As you can see, I cleaned my room. Okay, Alyssa, you know how much you hate intros. Get to the fucking video. Okay. How the fuck did I find out that I was the monad? Long story short, I got shoved into the void. It's the void, right? That's the long story short. I got shoved into the void. I did the Grant Morrison process. Okay, so if you don't know what that is, you should Google Grant Morrison spiritual experience, Grant Morrison um, illumination, Grant Morrison enlightenment, Grant Morrison goes, whatever, something like that. Like, can you be smart and like learn how to Google things and like stop asking me for like specific fucking things and like sending me a million emails? Like, he says it like a million times. I found it. So it's not that fucking hard. Okay. He doesn't have like Grant Morrison doesn't have like a million videos. So anyway, he went to Kathmandu and he ran up the stairs and he held his breath and he got this like amazing enlightenment experience and he went to Alpha Centauri and he found out like we're all the same person, right? And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna fucking go to Kathmandu. I'm gonna run up those stairs. I'm gonna hold my breath and I'm gonna run up those stairs. I'm gonna do the same thing. So, being little ambitious, type A me, I was like, let's practice. And I lived in Glendale. I feel like I need water. I don't have any water left. Okay. I lived in Glendale, California at the time. And if you are from California, you know that we have, or Southern California, whatever, we have like a lot of like stairs, and a lot of people like do workouts on like the stairs outside in like the neighborhoods. And I was on like my daily run and I ran past some stairs and I was like, oh my God, let me start practicing for Kathmandu here. And every day during sunset, because I was also sun gazing at the time, I was doing like so many practices at the same exact time because like I really it's so funny. I really wanted a spiritual experience. So I was like, I was doing like the Grant Morrison process and I was sun gazing and I was doing Kundalini and I was doing witchcraft like all at the same time. It's really funny because it gave me the fucking experience of my life. Like shit went fucking berserk. It went like crazy berserk. And so yeah, it worked. Uh but yeah, that's anyway, so I ran up the stair. I started running up the stairs holding my breath. And one time I came down the stairs and when I came down the stairs, um I felt like a dragon presence and I was like, "Oh my God, there's a dragon." And she was like kind of mean and I was like, "Oh my God, what the fuck did I call in? What the fuck did I call in?" And she was like she was like harassing me or like telling me like she was going to attack my mom or like some crazy shit. And I was like freaking out. And I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I called in a dragon. Uh, like, and I was like yelling at the dragon while I was on the phone with my mom. I was like, you fucking stay away from my mom. And I'm like standing on the street in Glendale and my mom's like, I think it's going to be okay, sweetie. I think it's going to be okay. Like, they've grown up with me. They know I've always been like pretty much 100% open with my parents, and they know like that I go through this shit. And so that's how it started. And then so I pulled in my dragon from 8D. If you know about dimensions and densities and da da da. I'm not really like that like I'm not like super versed in that. Ryan's way better at that stuff than I am, but it was my dragon from 8D. And I was like, "Hi, nice to meet you." But like it was like super it got like super intense like right away. And then um I put on an I think I called Alex. I think I called Alex and I was like, Alex, my dragon entered and I'm like super duper scared and blah blah blah. And he was like, put on an anime and just like relax. And I was like, okay. And I put on an anime and the anime was I just picked like a random anime and it was a girl and her dragon. And the dragon was like, it's just you and me, it's just us girls. Let's like get drunk tonight and like let's drink. And I was like, what the fuck? I felt like the anime was like talking to me, like you get it, right? And then I was freaked out. I was like so freaked out. And then I went to bed and I'll never forget it. um this is like such a long intense story. That's why I'm like but anyway, she was like, I'm going to merge with you now. And I was just like, what the fuck, dude? And I felt her go like into my spine and like grab my spine and like go up and like grab my spine. And immediately my spine like caught on fire and I started crying. Okay, this is like a really intense video. I'm sorry. This is like a really like I said, like I was also doing other spiritual practice. I was doing like all these like I said, I was doing all these crazy spiritual practice all at once because I really wanted an intense spiritual experience and I got it. Okay. So if you intend for an intense spiritual experience, you will get it. So she grabbed on my spine, immediately started burning. And that's when it just got crazy and intense. My father entered the room right after that, after she merged with me through my spine. And then my father entered the room and he was like, I'm not a narcissist. I have fleas. And he went like this. And all of this green bugs, and they were bright neon green bugs. And they came out from his hands. It's really, really fucking funny looking back. But at the time, I was extremely terrified. But it was like so funny. No, it's so funny now. But at the time, I was like shitting my pants because there's this entity in my room. He's like, I'm not a narcissist. I have fleas. And he goes like this. And then all of these neon green bugs go off of him and into me. And I'm like getting zapped by them. And I'm like, like that. It was insane. And I was like, wow, there's entities and they don't have bodies and you can like literally feel it like it's a human like it was literally like I could feel it. Like it wasn't like a soft like it wasn't like a soft okay, sorry. It wasn't like a soft, angelic caress. I felt an angel caressed my hair last night. No, it was like I was getting electrocuted by electric green bugs all night long. Okay, and so it was so intense. I'm sorry, I can't think about it without laughing anymore. Um, if I had filmed this a few years ago, I tried to film this a few years ago and I couldn't stop crying and shivering. So yeah. So that experience, sorry. So that poltergeist experience sent me way past the astral realm and it sent me all the way up and catapulted me into the void. Now, the way most people describe the void is like this beautiful heavenly experience of like experiencing like all of this amazing beautiful energy, and it's like the most beautiful like energy they've ever felt, and they feel so complete with this beautiful gorgeous energy, but it's the void, so it's like black and like nothingness, but they feel whole and complete and all this beautiful unconditional love. Okay. No, that is the void with me. When I get sent to the void, it's just me. Okay, so that catapulted me into the void, and it was literally just me in this black, dark denseness. And the attacks kept happening for months. And I was sent to the void every single night because the attacks were so intense, I couldn't handle it as like a human. So I'd be catapulted into the void, and I would just chill there by myself for 8 hours a night. It didn't feel like I was sleeping. I would just be catapulted up into the void, and then I would just be chilling in darkness for 8 hours until it was time for me to wake up and go back to work the next day. And that's the void for the monad. Okay. So, I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that that's what that meant, but I knew what I was experiencing at the time. And then after that, there was just a bunch of like experiences where, how do I explain that? Does anybody want to help me with that? Your dad. What about my dad? The green bubble. That was like recently though. Like, how do I explain that? See, okay, that was basically like the first evidence that I got that, um, and that is what started like the Jean Grey experience. My dragon, or a phoenix, right? In the comic books, it's a phoenix, but it was actually a dragon, grabbing a hold of my spine, and I started like burning from the inside out. And that's when I knew comic books were real and that I'm Jean Grey. And I burned for months. And when I would go to sleep, I would go to the void. I wouldn't be burning in the void, and I would just be chilling there by myself. And it's way above the astral realm. Please shut the fuck up. Like, I can hear your stupid fucking comments. Like, it's fine. You want to challenge me? You want to challenge me? You want to what is it? Throw hands? Fine. Do it. See what happens to you. Okay? That's basically the point. That's a great way to skip to the end of how I know I'm the monad. There's just been like a bunch of events through the last since It through my whole life, yes, but since I discovered that like bit about the void and everything, there's just been like it's just us, and it's been a lot less intense, and I'm sorry. But yeah, so um, there's just been a lot of events in the people world. Okay, now they want me to talk about guests. So at Guess, then I was working at Guess, and the people there at Guess were absolutely horrible to me. And it was just a really bad experience all around. And I would go to my car in the lunch break, and I would call a career coach. And that was after the void experience and stuff, but I was like still discovering like who I was. Okay. And like I said, this was like 5 years of experiencing really intense experiences. And it would take a really long time to go into each and every freaking fucking detail. So I'm doing my fucking best to explain it to you guys, okay? So I would go to um, my car on the lunch break and I would call a career coach, and I would just be so angry and so furious, not at her, but at my situation. And I would just be like, I have to get out of this. Like, how can I get out of this? Da, da, da. And COVID started immediately. Okay. So that was like one of the pieces of evidence that I'm the monad. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there. There's a lot of information in there. I don't have to fucking write an entire motherfucking book. There's a lot of fucking movie evidence of me. If you want to learn about the monad, okay, I recommend Poltergeist. I recommend Black Widow. I recommend Midsummer. I recommend Neverending Story. Okay, those are 4 movies that are my life. Okay, there's a lot more, but you can start there. You can watch The Sopranos. Um, you can watch, they're saying to watch Midsummer's Night Dream. I don't even think I watched Midsummer's Night Dream, but apparently that's one of my movies. Okay. So, I'm not a person. Thank you.